Hey everyone, it is Ray Gauthier with me, my buddy Adrian Scott. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing really good and enjoying being out here in the park today.
Yeah.
We need to do more stuff like this, get out and about. I like what you were doing in some of your videos. We're out in different parks and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of that scenery is just stunning.
Yeah, it is absolutely beautiful. We are out. I'm visiting my friend Adrian Scott out here in Campbell River on Vancouver Island. It is an absolutely stunning, beautiful place to be. It's marine. What do they call it? Mariner beachfront community.
Yeah, it's a boating town,
And
that's for sure.
If you just take one look here, this is the beautiful inlet here, just off the coast here of Campbell River. People out in their boats. It's a beautiful day today, and you said that a lot of cruise ships come through here.
Yeah, this is a cruise ship corridor, and you can also, if you're here at the right time, you can get more than one and two sightings of whales. There's quite a few whales that will come through here as well.
Yeah, yeah, it is a gorgeous place, and I'm spending a few days up here with my good friend, and we decided that we're not going to waste any time at all being here. We're going to be putting out a few videos and working in his studio and just enjoying our time together. But we wanted to talk about something that's very, very heavy on our hearts, and we're titling this Shekels for your... did we even say it was Shekels for your thoughts?
No, we should welcome everyone. Say this is Truth and Testimony of the broadcast.
Shekels for your thoughts, and the subject is what?
Faith without works is dead.
Faith without works is dead. And we had a very interesting conversation the other day, and whenever you and me get on the phone, and I think we end up hogging up the line for about a good hour just talking about certain things that are heavy on our hearts.
Yeah.
And do you remember actually what brought on that conversation?
Well, this all started from my standpoint of there's a pastor. Every once in a while, I still like to check out some of his videos. He's got some interesting things to say. Theologically, there's things I disagree with, but he's still a really smart guy, and he's been around for a long, long time. But he was commenting, I guess, in an interview recently, they were talking to the actor Keanu Reeves, and was kind of addressing a little bit of his own mortality, as it were. He was saying, I guess he's 59 years old now, and he's getting older, and time is drawing short, and he has to accept that death is going to be coming at some point, and what is he doing now while he's still alive? What kind of relationships is he forming, and what impact is he having on the world? And for one thing, I've heard from a lot of different sources online that Keanu Reeves actually seems to be a really humble, down-to-earth, decent guy. And I like to hear that. You like to hear those stories of celebrities that don't let all of that stuff just go to their heads.
Yeah.
So anyways, at some point he made a comment in his saying, I don't remember exactly how he put it, but it had to do with the works that he was doing, the things he was doing. We'll see if my works are good enough, or something to that effect. And this pastor was commenting on that, saying that it's not about works. You don't do works for salvation, which is true. But the question is there a place for works? Because as we titled the video, that's kind of referencing something in the book of James, where James himself says, faith without works is dead. You show me your faith without works is dead. I'll show you my faith by my works.
And it's... so many people will say, well, we're not saved by works, and they always raise that issue.
And that's correct. That is correct.
It is true, yeah.
You don't do works for salvation.
No,
salvation is a gift from God.
When you start doing works for salvation, that now puts you into the category of religion.
Yeah.
And that is definitely not what it all comes down to. You come to salvation simply by grace and through the love of Christ. But what we do with that salvation provides, or should I say, help me here, produces good works.
Yes. And so from my standpoint, as someone that I would identify as a Messianic or Hebrew roots guy, rather than most Western, Christian denominations. Although I did, as I've mentioned in previous videos, come out of the Pentecostal church. I like I said, I do identify now more as Messianic or Hebrew roots. So one thing I do believe is that the Torah is still valid. That's the first 5 books of the Old Testament, within which we get the 10 Commandments, as well as other instructions. Things like if your neighbor's ox falls into a ditch, that you help him get it out. That's a good work. You're helping your neighbor out, that you should do that. Love your neighbors yourself. All of these things are instructions that are found in the Torah. And I think all of those things still apply. There's other parts that might be more difficult to explain, but I don't think any of it has been done away with, right?
Remember when Yeshua said, when he was being questioned about doing any kind of work on the Sabbath, he used that same reference.
Yeah.
If your neighbor or your friend or whoever has an animal or a donkey that falls into a ditch, are you not going to help him get out of it?
Exactly.
It's like these people were so bound by
if someone is starving, are you not going to give them some food even on the Sabbath?
Yeah.
And that's, again, all about those works. So this ties into a statement that I've used multiple times in previous videos I've said, where I used this line and I said, I keep the Torah. And when I say keep, that means observe it, remember it, and do it, right? So I keep the Torah not to get saved, because salvation is a gift from God, but because I am saved.
Right.
That it should be a demonstration. It is me showing gratitude to my Heavenly Father that He has offered me this salvation through Yeshua, and that I've accepted that, and this is how I showed Him return. And that in doing those things, it then encourages other people around me to say, hey, look at this guy, look at this blessed life that he's having. I want some of that, and that they get into it. So that's where all that ties into me. And I know a lot of people will connect this idea that I see is a mistake, I think, of works with the law. And they say the law has been done away with, right? Again, this is the Torah. They identify as the law. I said, well, the law also includes the 10 Commandments. So are you saying that the 10 Commandments have been done away with, right? I don't think any of that works. But I recently heard a speaker who's tied into a Hebrew Roots ministry that I'm very heavily involved with. And he sort of rephrased that idea of I keep the Torah not to get saved, but because I am saved. He just worded it in a different way, which I thought was absolutely brilliant and so simple. And it connected to other things. And this is what I had to share with you. And this is what got that conversation going. And all he did, I'm just going to say it, he rephrased it in such a way that he said, works is not the root of your salvation, right? That's not how you get your salvation, is through works. So works are not the root of your salvation. They are the fruit of your salvation, right? That is what's outwardly seen. You don't light a lamp and then hide it under a thing. You put it out so it lights the room so everyone can see it. We're supposed to be that light. And how do we demonstrate that without some kind of works?
Well, another thing too is when you become a Christian, you become a believer, it's just automatically that we want to do these things. It's not like we're doing it to show off or doing it to impress anybody. It's just, I want to do this.
You want to do this. You want to be pleasing to your Heavenly Father. And I think maybe in a way, as far as this pastor goes, it's just a weak way of stating it. But the way he phrased it, and I've heard it from other sources of that nature as well, just makes it sound like don't bother doing any works because that's not going to save you, which is correct. But there's still a place for works. And that's what just brought that all on. And it really impacted me, and I had to share that with you. I think it, made sense, doesn't it?
No, it absolutely does make sense, and I hope that did maybe answer a few questions for a few of you out there. Because there was always some controversy with that. Well, as a Christian, we're not required to do works to get our salvation, and you're absolutely right.
That's correct.
But those works come after salvation. It is the gravy of our salvation is what we show. It's like you were saying, it's the light that we show, when we do things. And they're like, most people would guess that we are saved by what we're doing.
I've had people come up, you're a Christian, aren't you? And I'm just like, yes, I am. Thank you for noticing.
Well, I definitely hope this helped. This is a short Shekels for your thought, but we wanted to
just kind of make it short and sweet.
Share that, and if you do have a subject or a question you would like us to talk about, you can send it to Truth and Testimony email at gmail.com, truth and testimony email at gmail.com.
Also, don't be afraid to hit that
Yeah.
like button if you enjoyed the video.
I always forget to say that. You don't.
Subscribe if you have not subscribed, and hit the notification bell so that you're alerted every time we drop one of these videos like this, so you don't miss any of our content.
Absolutely. And you can also hear us on our podcast. You can find our podcast, and it's on Podbean, and you can subscribe to any of one of your favorite podcast platforms or clients. And everything that we upload, unless there's a real visual to it, you will hear everything that we have on our podcast. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you.
Fun as usual. See you guys next time.